You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
Welcome back. Here's a look at the week's hottest headlines in Texas. The Justice Department sues Texas for its controversial voting law, Senate Bill 1. The law bans election officials from sending voters ballot applications, bans drive-through voting, and increases criminal penalties for poll workers. The Justice Department alleges the law will disenfranchise disabled and elderly Texans and those who need help translating their ballot. Democratic state lawmakers applauded the lawsuit, while Attorney General Ken Paxton telling President Biden, "I'll see you in court." And Texas doctors sounding the alarm over Congress's plan to cut Medicare funding by 10% next year. The Texas Medical Association reports the cuts could force 2 out of 3 Texas physicians to stop seeing new Medicare patients. They're calling on Congress to fully fund the program or risk endangering elderly Texans who need their care. And Lubbock State Representative John Frullo announced this week he will not seek re-election. He leaves our House District 84 after 6 sessions in the Texas House and says he is looking forward to serving the remainder of his term and continuing the work of making Lubbock and Texas one of the best places to live. And now to talk about his retirement after serving the people of Lubbock for almost 11 years now, it's time for 5 Good Minutes with State Representative John Frullo. Representative, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ryan.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
You bet.
You released some big news this week about the future of your career. After more than a decade of serving us here in Lubbock, tell us, what told you that it was time to hang it up?
Well, first off, I don't want to call it a career. This is public service, and I don't look at that as a career, so I want to point that out. I think I look back at what all I've been able to accomplish, what I've been able to do for our area, for the state, and how much work it is. And I decided that I'm ready for a different chapter in my life and turn it over to somebody else.
And looking back at the time you've had in the Texas House serving the people here in Lubbock, what do you think you brought back to the people here in your decade of service? What is your proudest accomplishment, you think?
Well, there's many accomplishments. I don't know that we can cover them all in 5 minutes. As you said, it's been 11 years, 6 sessions, 8 special sessions. A lot of it has to do with, if you look at the 30,000-foot view, it'd be human trafficking. I worked a lot on human trafficking, helped bring that to the forefront. Then we started giving law enforcement more tools to work with. We made it to where the penalties were tougher, and I think that we really changed some lives, improved some lives, and I always say that it's the thanks that we'll never get that are so important. That is the people that don't get in that situation because of things that we put in place, either stopping somebody, making it to where we can find the bad folks. That's part of it. I think gun knives, gun knives and try that again. Gun rights and also knife rights are very important. We've worked on that for a number of sessions, covering the ability to carry knives where in places you couldn't, fixing the laws around the state, making it better for the state of Texas and the citizens. One of the big things we did there is we didn't want to have people be a criminal for carrying a knife that they could have in one town, carry it to the next town, and it was against the law. So things like that, big things like that, if you're affected by it. I think the pro-life issues that I've worked on, the laws that I've helped pass, that makes, we're protecting lives there. I think that's real important. Working on a number of insurance issues when I chaired that committee, things we were able to get done, in general, reducing regulations. Even this last session, I was a joint author on a bill that said that the PPP loans, which are huge for small businesses, where the federal government helps small businesses during the COVID times, they decided that they would not make those taxable to the businesses. I wanted to ensure that happened, and the businesses in Lubbock and throughout the state of Texas were not taxed. Just as you go through the list, there's just so many different things I've worked on, helped, and I think really brought to the forefront in some cases, and it made the the workings of the state a lot better. And then it's also what we really do out there, a big chunk of it, and that is help people in the district. And I've done a lot of work there as far as helping people, making sure that, and it's not me, it's a staff that's working on this. We're all working on it, had a great crew throughout that time that we're able to help individuals, help them with their problems, get them to the right places. And so there's a number of things I think that we accomplished.
Yes, sir. Well, a very long list of a work for you to bring home to the people of Lubbock here. One more question for you. What's next?
Well, as we mentioned, there's still a year left in this term. And, whether or not there's any more special sessions, we'll see what happens there. And then, it's just continuing to help serve the community, work in the community. I live here. Again, we're citizen legislators, so we have jobs. We, in my case, I employ people, we work, and we want to keep that going and just continuing to, make sure good things happen, especially good things that happen to tech. That's one thing that I didn't mention, but a number of great things that we did there and helping them get, to where they're Tier 1 status, get the vet school opened. It's, as I sit and think about it, there's a lot of neat accomplishments.
All right. Well, Representative Ferrullo, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck to you in your next chapter.
You bet. Thank you, Ryan.
Have a good one.
You too.
And we'll be right back.